Why is it so difficult? Or maybe, so, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm assuming it. Why is it so difficult to do human rights work or this career specifically in the local setting? Is it any different from, you mentioned earlier, may global perspective ka na rin, working for an NGO right now, 'di ba? Mas mahirap pa talaga sa Pilipinas to do human rights work.
It's difficult anywhere, everywhere.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
essentially you're up against bad actors, what I would call bad actors, no?
Tama.
Who are set on violating human rights or violating it in a very systematic way. No, hindi lang one-off violations, but in a very systematic way, human rights are being violated everywhere in the world. No, that's why you have these international NGOs that constantly um, put out reports or bring out the discussion of human rights violations happening around the globe. No, specific to the local setting, I guess it's one is a direct result of what happened in the past regime, which is na demonizing human rights discourse. Pag
Oo
human
nga.
rights worker, kakalaban ka ng Estado, nare-red tag ka pa nga minsan. Diba? And that's a threat. That's a risk to your life. That's a risk to your security, your privacy. It's a threat to your well-being even.
Right.
So that's the difficulty of working in the human rights setting right now, I guess. The particularity of which is the demonized narrative of being a human rights worker. I remember in one SONA, it was said that your concern is human rights, my concern is human lives. There's a
Yes.
dichotomy, as if we should separate the discussion of the two. We shouldn't. Because when you want to protect and enrich human lives, in at some point you will turn to human rights. So,
Tama.
Yeah.
Oo.
'di ba? So hindi mo mapaghihiwalay yung discussion na yon. But it's quite unfortunate that a lot of misinformation about human rights and a lot of negative things have been said about human rights work in the Philippines in the past few years. Again, ito I take inspiration from what Maria Ressa said, no, na something like our freedoms, our democracy dies with 1,000 cuts, no? It's not
Oh,
one big
yes.
blow. It's these little things na pinasara mo ang isang media franchise, systemic troll attacks against human rights workers and journalists and development workers in that space, no, working in that space. And then on the institutional side, you put out policies like the drug war. You
Tama.
put out policies of red tagging done by state agents, no, in big platforms. So tandem yan, no. You have on the one hand your structural, institutional ways of
Shucks.
repressing human rights, and on the other hand you have these little things that accumulate, and so you create an environment that's very hostile towards human rights.